John Carpenter's Halloween, the night he came home. It's October 31st, guys, so you know what that means. It's time for a good movie. And there's no better movie, in my opinion, than this one. John Carpenter's Halloween. Now, in one of my previous videos, I went to, well, let's just say that I kind of had some words with Halloween Jack, but this is by far one of the best movies ever made. And considering that it's a low budget film, and I mean low budget, the fact that they were able to do what they did with this film is just an amazing point. And what I love is that this 4K copy, which is brand new, I just picked it up a while back, has been just amazing. The visuals have never been this good. I mean, the film is showing its age, but it has never looked good. And look at this. Look at how many copies of just the original film I have. Look here, we have the 35 edition. It's pretty much this right here, but not in 4K. I have an earlier edition, which has some pretty cool stuff on it, which you're not going to get anywhere else. And then I have pretty much the whole setup, which again packs the new edition. So, and this one I'm actually thinking about giving to a friend. So, yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of Halloween. This is one of those rare good movies. And look at that poster. That is very hard not to have a good feeling about. It doesn't show Michael Myers at all, but I love the fact that it says the night he came home, because it's pretty dear. And check this out. Look, Halloween 40 years. That's pretty cool. And it's hard not to think about that. Here is a movie that still holds up extremely well. I mean, yes, it's dated. Yes, it's a product of its time. Yes, it was low budget, and it shows. But this movie shows the talent of John Carpenter. In a time without any digital technology, he wasn't trying to do a ghost story or any of that. This was really done in camera, and it works. The opening of the film, and I'm going to include both the credit scene and the opening points before we get to Dr. Loomis, is still just so amazing. I mean, think about it. You open up the film with John Carpenter's score. See, I forget the exact guy's name who presents it, and I have trouble trying to pronounce it. I can't even pronounce it properly. But, he's like Mr. Halloween. And this movie just keeps getting better from that point. So you have the music playing, you see a jack-o'-lantern, you see John Carpenter's Halloween. And the camera slowly pans in. The pumpkin is getting closer and closer and closer as you progress. The black background, the pumpkin, the actual candle lit into it, it's all pretty cool. And the whole time, the score is just like, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there. It reminds me of, like good music does with things. Like the Amityville horror theme. That has such a great tone to it. Jaws has such a great theme to it. Poltergeist has a great theme to it. And they all work. They always deliver this thing. This works so well. Even though it's just the primary score, it works so well. And as you close in on the pumpkin, eventually you get so close, and then the light on the pumpkin starts to fade, and all that's left of that pumpkin are that eye hole and little mouth and nose. But the candle, and then goes out, final credits come in, and then we see Haddonfield, Illinois, and I forget the exact date that they showed, but then you hear goblins and ghosts on Halloween night, trick or treat, ding ding ding, and then boom, right into the opening of the film. There's Michael Myers. We are the killer in that sequence. How many movies do that? This is before we had first-person shooter video games, and we have that sequence. It's so good, and it just goes in. You see him doing this stuff. And I found out that actually took 2 takes, 2 rolls of film to do that whole sequence, because it was that difficult. And I won't tell you where the cut is, but if you're eagle-eyed, you can see it. But wow, man, it just works so well. And that is what I think really works well with this movie. And I mean that too. And plus, everything about it. So you go in and we see the whole thing, and we see Michael's sister, her boyfriend, and then Michael's around somewhere. The little clown mask and stuff. It's pretty cool. Hold on a second. It's really cool. Sorry, itchy nose. And it's just so cool, and it works so well, and it does too. Then he goes into the house. Jeez. Oh, it tickles. I'm trying not to laugh on this because it's just so cool of a movie. But my nose. Anyways, it just keeps getting better. And then you get up to the stairs. There's a little clown mask on the ground. Picks it up. Puts it onto the camera. You're even more in first person now. Then you get to Michael. Changing. You actually see the knife through the mask. And I'm kind of picturing it now through my own mask. And it just keeps getting better. And then, of course, you go downstairs, and there's Dad, Michael, rips the mask off. We see the kid, normal-looking kid, by the way, in this clown outfit. I don't know what's scarier about that, but apparently it was. Then, a crane shot going up. This tells you how much work John Carpenter and Deborah Hill put into this. The next big point points out a lot to the film. I'm not going to worry about trying to spoil. Everybody's probably seen this movie by now. It's kind of a rite of passage. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch the review. Come back later. So what happens next? Well, we have him escaping from the psych, the prison, the psych ward prison. We then have Loomis going on the chase, and I love the fact he's like, I told everybody. He's like constantly. He's obeying the law, and yet he also admits fully that, you cannot save this guy. You can't. He's like beyond that. And it just keeps getting better from there. And then we get to him in the town, and he's slowly stalking these characters. And I love the fact that he's not going on, the famous kill spree right away. No. This is a character who's actually paying attention to things. He's looking at stuff. He's being methodical. He's being intelligent. This is not like most other horror characters. They're like, slash, kill. I mean, no. He's studying people. He stops a kid from running into him who then runs around him and then follows people. This is not normal for most horror movies, and yet it works so well here. I also think I should take this moment to point out that see the mask on Michael Myers? If you're a Star Trek fan, I think you should recognize that face, because that is a William Shatner mask. Yeah, that's right. It's been reported a few times, but that was a William Shatner Star Trek mask. But apparently they worked on it a little bit, and you cannot tell. But there are a few points in the movie where if you pause it at a certain angle, you can see William Shatner. So yeah, and Carpenter has actually thanked William Shatner for that a couple of times. So that's pretty cool. After that, we then have Loomis explain everything. And this is where, if you've paid attention to some stuff, you find out that that Carpenter and Hill, Deborah Hill, who, God rest her soul, has passed away, wrote the story in tandem together. And he wrote all the dark stuff, and she wrote all the girl stuff, and they came together to work together. And also finding little tropes for Halloween to work with, too. Like the whole ghost sheep with the sun, with the glasses on. Perfect. But it was Carpenter who actually went to a mental institution when he was in school, who saw somebody who fit the bill for the quote he gave to Loomis. This pale, blank, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another, I forget the exact number on that point, and I just saw the movie again too for a while back. But the words that Donald Pleasence says are so impressive. The finale of the film, and I do want to cover this just real quick because it shows so much, and it also gave a good look at John Carpenter's directing skills. Now, the whole chase thing, I'm just going to cut right to the end because, like I said, I'm not going to worry about spoiling. Everybody's seen the movie by now, or they've heard it from somebody else. But Pleasence asked him, how do you want me to play this? Because I can play it two ways. I know he's gone, or I know he's gone. And Carpenter said play it both ways. And the fact that the actor gave him those two ways and he asked for both service the film. And then, you know, you see it, you see Laurie Strode's like, was that the boogeyman? As a matter of fact, that was. And then the whole build-up as you go to the end, and he's gone. Now, the cool thing I found out from one of the interviews and one of the documentaries is that whole montage at the end, that was improvised in the editing room. But it works so well, including with the breathing at the end. It's perfect in that regard. That is why this film still stands up so well today. And my mask is messing with me right now. Dang it. So that's that. I'll have to fix that. Anyways, it works so well. So I'm going to give the film, and this is a rare rating, but I'm going to give the film a solid 10 out of 10. It deserves it. Yes, it has its problems, but for what it is, it still holds up exceedingly well. See ya.